Who remembers when they first started to drive, how they were like sort of just staring at, the front of the car, making sure it's not running off the road, make sure they're staying in the lane, making sure that, they're not speeding, and making sure, how far they have to go to whatever their next destination might be. So there was a lot of attention paid to it. And then after some time, you got used to driving, and you just stopped looking at it so much. It doesn't mean that you never look at it, but you just stopped looking at it as much. It almost became second nature. You got a sense of how it feels. And a lot of this journey, that's what that is. You'll start to get the sense of how things are working based on small little signs throughout the day. Just like when you're driving, like small little things will tell you, if you're in the right lane or whatever, right? You'll understand that as you get used to driving, it becomes a little bit more second nature. But every once in a while, you do need to check, how much oil, how many kilometers left to change the oil, how many kilometers it's been that you have to go to your destination, how much gas you have left, and how much, how fast you're going. Are you following the posted speed limits, as an example, right? Now, when you're measuring your changes with your body, that's exactly what it is. It's important not to just drive obliviously and just put your foot down to the gas and not recognize what the results might be. You need to get a sense of how fast you're going, all that stuff, because you need to be safe. You need to not break any laws, etc., etc. This is how you want to treat your measurements. You do need to check once in a while. It's not like you're going to sit there and stare at it. You're not going to stare at the scale and the measurement every day, all the time. You're not going to obsess over it, but it's important to check on it. And just like you wouldn't just tape over all of your gauges in your car because you're worried about what the results might be, you're worried about how fast you might be going, you're not going to do that with your measurements and your scale. Stop avoiding it. You do need to check in with it every once in a while. And yes, it'll become second nature. Yes, it won't be as important to do it all the time in the future, but it's important to check in. Quick side note, long-term studies show that people who tend to pay more attention to their measurements on a more often basis tend to do better in the long run, as long as it doesn't create stress. Now, circle it back here. What I'm saying here is you want to be able to check your speedometer, your odometer, how much gas is left, when is your next service change. That's exactly what your measurements are. And you need to be doing it on a pretty regular basis. But it's important that you don't bury your head in the sand and not even look at that because of fear that you might need to get gas again soon, that you might have to go get an oil change soon, that it might be time to change your tires, or that you might be going too slow or too fast. It's important to use that feedback to know what your plan is coming out to. That way you know to make adjustments to the plan or not. But don't hide from it. Make sure every once in a while you're checking it. Also, don't obsess with it. But at some point you need to make sure that you know what all the different gauges in your car are telling you.